Hello, my name is Paul Najar. I'm a local therapist in Ann Arbor, and I want to talk about why love stinks. So, based quoting Jay Giles, she loves him, but he loves her, and she loves someone else. Love stinks. Yeah, yeah, love stinks. Here's the reason why it stinks. It's based upon the idea that there's a difference between love and passion in a relationship. There are two flames. This is called the twin flames of love. So we have a passion flame. This is a romantic captivation. This is wanting. This is the longing, the deep longing, the passion for the other. And this is love, the love flame. So the love flame is a lot more stable, and the passion flame is more fickle. It's very strong at the beginning of a relationship, and it's very strong at the end of a relationship. When one person is romantically rejecting another, it's very strong then. But the passion, the juice of life, is very important. It gets short shrift in our culture. It's the deep longing, again, the juice of life. And what I'd like to say is that what we are seeking, one way to look at it, is what we're all seeking in our relationships is a stable and safe relationship that at the same time is juicy and dynamic, right? It's alive. And it's safe. So here's the paradox. In one relationship, we're trying to get our needs met for safety, togetherness, companionship, togetherness, predictable. We need predictability from our partner, right? So that fuels the love side of the flame. But what fuels passion is uncertainty, mystery, risk. You actually are risking something, and space. So the country western song that says, how can I miss you if you won't go away? Right? So the passion side of the flame you need time away from your partner, right? To breathe some air back into this fickle flame. Oftentimes what happens when we first fall in love, there's a huge romantic inflation. Huge, beautiful, amazing, juicy, alive, right? But then with every inflation, we don't seem to understand in our culture, with every inflation, there's a deflation. So when the honeymoon comes to an end, some of these dynamics start to come out. And what comes out is, in the beginning, it's like you catalyzed my growth. You bring meaning to my life. You're my inspiration. So it's like, because of you, I feel a new sense of life, a new sense of, I came alive. Our relationship has watered places in me that were dry. I didn't even know I was thirsty. The relationship, you have done that for me, my beloved. It's very beautiful, right? But it's dangerous. The reason it's dangerous is because if you've brought a lot of unhealed grief, unresolved grief and emotional baggage into a relationship, right? You have a lot, you're risking a lot, right? With this partnership. There's a lot of risk, and you bring a lot of vulnerability to the relationship. And therefore, you're going to have passion, a lot of passion for this person. So again, if one person has a lot more passion for the other than the other has, right? That's problematic, right? That's when we get into these love stinks, because he really wants her, but she doesn't want him that much, right? And the reason is because this person is risking more. So I guess we should talk about, this unresolved grief, these brokenness, anguish, these hidden pockets of drama and pain that we all carry, and they only come out in the relationship, in the context of a relationship. So what happens when you fall in love? You say to your partner, you catalyzed growth for me. It's because of you, all this new life. I came back to life. It's beautiful. But it's not sustainable. It's like this person catalyzed growth for you, but they're not the source of your growth. So because of you, I have this new connection. I feel alive. But I'm gonna, now that you've signed the contract, now that we're going, I feel some safety with you. We're married, we're engaged, we're partners, we're committed partners to each other. I'm just gonna relax and let my hair down, and I'm not going to have to risk and be so vulnerable. You know, probably you can't do that much. If you have a lot of woundedness, if you bring a lot of woundedness into a relationship, you're not going to be able to maintain that level of vulnerability and risk in the relationship. It's going to fall apart. And when it falls apart and you break up, the incredible passion comes back. It's horrible how heartbreaking rejection is and how much passion you're filled with, okay? And the reason that happens is because in psychology, there's a complicated term. It's called the compulsion to recreate childhood wounds in current day relationships. So we all have a compulsion, unconscious usually, to recreate childhood wounds in our current day relationships. And why the hell are we doing that? The reason we're doing that is because we're unhealed. We need access to that woundedness in order to heal it, okay? And so you can see it in the extremes when a daughter of an alcoholic father who was deeply wounded by her father's disease and his lack of presence, you know, consciously she says, I will never date a drinker, right? But unconsciously, she is looking for someone to bring out her woundedness. So for example, she'll fall madly in love with a young man, and 6 months later, it comes out that he's been hiding his drinking from her, right? And she's shocked. Everyone but her is shocked. Everyone else is shocked. She's shocked, and no one else is, because you can see in the extreme how the child's unmet need for love within her is trying to redress the wrong that was done in her childhood, right? So she's trying to prove, to win, to earn the love of this young man, the love she didn't get from her father. So we all do this. If you really tune into your inner work, you'll see how being rejected brings out the old pain. And it's like an addiction. You become totally obsessed with the other person. That's why breakups are so fucking hard, right? Is because we're addicted to trying to prove we're worthy of love. You know, that was never the issue. So again, people will catalyze your growth, and they'll bring you new life, and then you have to give them back, and you have to say, listen, I have to continue to do my work, right? And so and a certain amount of imbalance in wanting and passion is fine, and it'll fluctuate over the course of a relationship. But if it's very out of balance, then you know that you're in some trouble. So this is a very helpful model of the dilemma of modern relationships and why love can stink. You know, so again, deep contentment with yourself and your partner, that's love, right? But longing, the spiritual longing, the longing for the beloved, the longing for the ideal relationship, that sweet longing, right, is a paradox. Trying to get both from the same relationship. Let's see if it's possible. Thank you. I hope this was helpful.